Yo, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another new video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a build that I think is going to be amazing in the Edge of Fate. Strong was already pretty strong this season, but what if I told you that next season is going to be even crazier? And that's what it's looking like with the artifact. So in today's video, we're going to be going over this build that you're going to be able to basically put on day one and start doing well and start doing a bunch of Strand things if you love Strand Hunter. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you do, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel in case you guys aren't ready for some more videos. And now let's get into it, and first of all, like with every other build, we gotta take a look at the exotics because they're the most important parts of the build. For our exotic piece of armor, we're gonna be on the Set Arachne. This is basically gonna give us some insane uptime on our woven mail, and it's always gonna give us some of that extra damage assistance, which is gonna be really good for some of those higher end activities. So it's just going to be adding to our survivability, and since we're going to be able to use our grapple quite a lot and quite often, this is something that we're basically always going to have on. We're always going to be walking around with woven mail. Now for your exotic weapon, you actually have a lot of different choices when it comes to this. As long as it's a good Strand exotic, it's basically going to be pretty good. My favorite choices are definitely the Quicksilver Storm, the Final Warning, or the Barrel Dyad. The Quicksilver works specifically well because there's a couple of things in the artifact that are gonna rely on tangles and also just making a bunch of blades. But the Barrel Dyad is also gonna be a fantastic choice, as was the Final Warning if you're more into sidearms. As long as it's a good primary Strand weapon, you're basically gonna have a good time with any of these exotics. For a subclass, we're gonna be on regular pure Strand. It can do things that prismatic just cannot do, and overall I think it's just gonna be better when it comes to like playing with Strand, especially into the mods. For your class ability, you want to still go with Gambler's Dodge, even if in the Edge of Fate it doesn't just immediately give you all your melee energy back, just because our melee is so strong. For our grenade, we're going to be on the grapple, is the way that we actually get our exotic to work, so we can keep giving that woven mail, but also because that grapple melee is going to come in very handy, not only for applying debuffs, but also for giving us unraveling rounds. Basically, every time that we kill something with our grapple melee, thanks to one of our fragments, we're going to get unraveling rounds on all our Strand weapons. And since we're going to be spamming the grapple just over and over again, that's something that we're going to have a lot of time up. Now for the aspects, we're going to be on Widow Silk. This is going to give us a second grapple charge, so we can just use our grapple a lot more often, as well as making grapple points, which is going to be pretty nice for using more grapples, as well as letting our teammates use more grapples. So if we have some other people that are playing on grapple, and I just felt like I said grapple a bunch of times just now, that I don't think I'm going to say for a while. Now, moving on to the second one is going to be the Whirlwind Maelstrom. Whenever we destroy a tangle, it will essentially spawn the Strand Tornado. And the Strand Tornado is going to just follow things around, do a bunch of damage, clear a bunch of ads, and also unravel a bunch of enemies. Every time that it hits something, it unravels it. So you're going to have all these unravel projectiles just kind of flying all over the place, just doing a bunch of extra damage. And this is the thing that we basically want to spam. We want to make as many tangles as possible, just so we can keep throwing tangles out there and keep spawning Whirlwind Maelstroms. The tangles themselves are actually going to be pretty deadly this season, making big explosions that do tons of damage. And then after that happens, the Blade comes out and basically just cleans everything up. And the great thing about the Blade is that it getting kills, because it's applying Strand debuffs, can actually spawn more tangles. So one of your Blades could actually spawn more and just keep the thing going, just keep the cycle going. So this is why we're going to be spamming a bunch of abilities, trying to apply a bunch of Strand debuffs so we can keep getting tangles, so we can get more tornadoes out there. Now moving on to the fragments, the first one we're going to have is going to be the Thread of Continuity. This is going to increase the amount of time our Suspend, Unravel, and Sever lasts, so basically we can just take advantage of them a lot more often. After that, we're going to have the Thread of Generation. Whenever we do damage, it generates grenade energy. This one's going to be pretty good, just so we can spam our grapple even more as we're doing some damage. After that, we're going to have the Thread of Propagation, and this is going to let us get unraveling rounds. And the great thing about this one is that it works with both our power melee and also our grapple melee, since it considers that a power melee. So this is going to be something that we're going to be able to proc very easily. So having unraveling rounds on our Strand weapons is actually going to be very easy with this, and it just gives another way that we can apply more debuffs, so we can get more tangles out there, so we can spam more tornadoes, and use the big tangle explosions. And the final one is going to be the Thread of Isolation. Whenever we land some rapid precision hits, it will emit a Severing Burst. And this thing is great. Sever is amazing, lowering the enemy's damage, and it gives another easy debuff that we can apply, use essentially for free. Just being able to hit some precision shots, we're gonna be able to make some tangles. So even if every single ability is on cooldown, which is very rare with this build, we're still gonna be able to make tangles, so we can keep making more explosions and also more blade blades. Now for the other weapons you want to pair up with this build, there's not really anything specific. You can go with whatever you want in your heavy, whatever you want for your special weapon, although I still recommend rocket sidearms, because rocket sidearms have a lot of things still going for them, and even some artifact perks that are going to make them even stronger, so I would still definitely recommend the rocket sidearms. And now let's move on and actually talk about the artifact perks, and what we don't really have the artifact yet, because Edge of Fate is not out. We do know everything that's going to be in the artifact, so we are going to talk about some of the ones that I'm excited about and how I see them working with this build. So starting off the mods here, we have tightly woven, well, woven mail is active, which is going to be something we're going to have all the time. We can increase class ability and grenade stat, meaning that we're going to be getting back our class ability and our grenade used a lot faster. Now we don't know exactly how much this is going to be, but just being able to get those two abilities faster is going to be really nice. Refresh threats is also going to be a really good one whenever we pick up an elemental pickup, or a Strand tangle. It gives us energy to our least charged ability. So again, this is just gonna let us spam abilities even more. The build I feel already spams abilities quite a lot, but this is gonna make it so we can spam even more every time we pick up a tank. And since we're always trying to go for those tangles, this is gonna be something that's gonna come into play quite a lot, and we're just gonna be seeing it all the time, meaning that we can spam more abilities. Threaded Blast makes its return, which is gonna supercharge our Strand tangles, essentially giving them more damage and a bigger explosion radius, turning our Strand tangles into essentially just mini nukes. If you used to play back during the War Mine Cell era, then that's pretty much how the tangles feel with Threaded Blast. Just the huge explosions, tons of damage. You can pretty much clear a bunch of ads with Threaded Blast, and then afterwards the tornado will pretty much finish off anything that stayed alive. Elemental Coalescence is something you want to have on all your builds. Whenever you kill some targets, it has a chance of creating an elemental pickup, or a tangle in our case, so it just makes it easier to make more tangles, basically for free. You're just going to have more pickups that are related to your class, and so you get more tangles. Shield Crush is going to give us faster melees, as well as giving us extra melee damage whenever we have Woven Mail, and again, since we're going to have Woven Mail pretty much all the time, it's going to make those Strand grapple melees do tons of damage, which means that we can constantly make more tangles with them, and also get unraveling rounds on our Strand weapons just constantly thanks to that extra damage. We're basically always going to have Shield Crush, because as soon as we activate the grapple melee, we get that Woven Mail. And the best of the Strand mods available is definitely going to be Tangle Web. Creating a tangle by defeating a Strand debuff target suspends nearby combatants. So as soon as you make that tangle, essentially it's going to suspend everything around, and then when you blow that tangle up, you're going to immediately just insta-kill everything that's suspended. And if something is alive, then you have this Strand tornado that's for sure going to kill them. It's going to make your tangles just super deadly, and considering how many we're going to be making, it's going to make this one of the best mods that you can run in Strand, and it essentially just gives any Strand build free suspend. No matter what you're doing, you're all going to have suspend. As soon as you make a tangle, you're going to suspend everything around. I'm just going to add a little bit extra to the build, since besides this, we don't really have another way of suspending, since it's not really something that we really care about. We really just care about the unravel and the constant tornadoes. But this mod just gives suspension for free, and it's going to make this build just even better. And those are the artifact mods I think are going to work the best with this build. We're not really going to talk about the armor mods themselves, since the armor is getting a whole rework, so we're not going to really get into that just yet. But we're definitely going to do a follow-up to this video when Edge of Fate is actually out, after I test out essentially every single stat and find out which ones I kind of like the best. But anyways, with that, we're going to wrap up today's video. This is the Strand build that I'm going to be using tomorrow with the Edge of Fate launch. And if you guys want to give it a try, there's going to be a dim link in the comments below. It's just going to give you the weapons, it's going to set up your subclass, but it will not give you, of course, any of the armor mods or any of the artifact unlocks, since all those are changing. But thank you for watching, thank you for stopping by, good luck, with the Edge of Fate. I hope that the launch goes smoothly, but I'm sure that you guys will be letting me in the comments by the time this video goes live. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.